Well, well, well. What do we have here? Limbus Company's latest identity, the LCE Ego Dimension Shredder Yi-Sang, is here, and we are going to be reading it together. Get an understanding, see if we can piece together what the identity is and or about. There's also our two Bokak news, which we'll be talking about on live stream today, an update on ProjectMoon, and also the future of Kanto 10. So I highly recommend after this video's out to the live stream if you want to hear any more news. Also, as per usual, I will be pulling for the identity on the day, so check it out if you want to get my further opinion. Taking a quick look at the identity info page, which is obviously the new format for the IDs, we can see that there are 4 skills and 2 passives. We won't linger on this for long. Let's get right into it. This does appear to be a 1-page identity, 1 page of skills, 1 page of passives. Let's go in. This is a charge rupture identity, which makes sense because this is the Dimension Shredder. If you don't know where the Dimension Shredder ego is from, this is from the part of the story where Sora fragged a employee and wore the suit. So, let's start with this skill 1, Pride Slash. 1 coin, Dimensional Slice. On use, gain final power for every X charge count on self, plus rupture and dimensional rift on target. On use, consume charge count to gain coin power. On hit, the first coin, gain charge count. On hit, inflict rupture potency. On hit, consume dimensional castaway to reuse this coin. So it is a 1 coin that reuses. It does appear to give him count and also inflicts rupture potency. A very simple one with final power. Excuse me. The skill 2, consecutive dimensional slice, which is a 2 coin gluttony slash. He is mono slash. Yes, he is mono slash. So it's a 2 coin gluttony. We have on use gain final power for every X rupture plus dimensional rift on the target. We have on use consume charge count to gain final power. We have on use at X charge potency, gain coin power. So he is a charge potency identity. If you're unsure what a potency identity is, when you consume 10 charge count, you will gain 1 potency. The first coin on hit gains charge count. The second effect is on hit inflict rupture. The second coin will inflict rupture. Also, it will inflict dimensional rift. And on hit, it will deal slash damage equal to the charge potency on self multiplied by X% of this coin's final damage. So he does have the Dimensional Rift effect, which I'm sure it'll be explained in here, but pretty much Dimensional Rift is next turn gain rupture count equal to the Dimensional Rift. And so far he is mostly potency. Now we have the final skill, or well, the first skill 3 before the Ascendant skill 3, we have Rip Space. Rip Space is a 3 coin envy slash. Before use, at X charge count, activate 4-dimensional refraction time series severance instead, which is the Ascendant skill 3. On use, at X to Y charge count, estimatively about maybe 5 to 9, consume all charge count and gain coin power for every X amount of charge count consumed. On use, gain final power for every X rupture plus dimensional rift on the target. On use, gain dimensional castaway and quadricolor dimensions. Interesting. We'll see what those buffs do after. The first coin gains rupture count and inflicts rupture potency. The second gains rupture count and inflicts rupture potency. The third inflicts rupture potency and inflicts dimensional rift. It also deals slash damage equal to the charge potency on yourself multiplied by X% of this coin's final damage. Now, immediately I can tell you, this identity is not a charge count demon, as far as I'm aware, like how W Corp saying is. From the strict status effect itself, it seems that you are going to be playing around the Dimensional Rift effect, which in it itself is very powerful for next turn rupture count. Also, he seems to be more of a charge identity, but we'll get to that later. Here is his defensive skill. We have Sidestep. Wow, this is a very wordy evasive. What the? Okay. Combat start, you will gain charge barrier equal to charge potency on self. Okay, that's pretty decent. Combat start, you will gain the dimensional castaway and quadricolor dimensions. At X charge potency, you will gain an additional stack of the above effects. Okay? We have combat start. At X minus charge count, consume X minus charge count percent HP to gain up to Y charge count. Okay, so at less than... okay, so it's kind of like W Heathcliff's overload, except it takes away your HP. Combat start. At X charge count, consume up to Y surplus charge count and apply the following effects. Heal charge count consumed percent HP and gain charge count consumed haste next turn. Okay, so it seems to be maybe some sort of setup. It looks like it not only assists you in getting a lot of charge really quickly, but it looks to be a little bit of like a setup move. Like, one, you can use it to quickly get some charge, and then when you have too much charge, you can use it to enhance your next effect, most likely enhance your Ascended Skill 3, which, let us have a look at the Ascended Skill 3 here. Let me zoom on in for you guys. Here we have the 4-dimensional refraction time series Severance. It is a 4-coin envy / unfocused volley. I didn't think it was unfocused volley, but I guess I was wrong. On use, gain final power for every X rupture plus dimensional rift on the main target. On use, gain the dimensional castaway and quadricolor dimensions. On use, consume X charge count to gain final power and coin power. On hit, gain quadricolor dimensions and inflict rupture, and then deal slash damage equal to a % of this coin's final damage to all targets. The second coin gains quadricolor dimension, inflicts rupture potency, and deals slash damage equal to X% of the coin's final damage. The third coin also gains quadricolor dimensions, inflicts rupture potency, and deals slash damage equal to X% of the final coin to all targets. And the fourth and final coin, fourth coin, gain charge count, inflict rupture potency, inflict dimensional rift, deal slash damage equal to X% of this coin's final damage to all targets, and on hit at X charge potency, reuse this coin. So this turns into a 5-coin skill at the very end, and the last one not only will have, I assume, the most % of damage to all targets, but it inflicts dimensional rift twice, or however much dimensional rift is inflicted, it will inflict twice. So that is all for the skill. So again, for the skills, it is very simple for this identity. It is not anything like the Nurse Fathers or the Apprentice. It's more similar to like the Apprentice, I would argue, some of the Apprentices to that tier. But we are not done yet, because we have to look now at the passives. Now, he only has 2 passives, and we can actually see what the status effects are. So let's have a little look. It's very, very tiny passives. We have Velocity and Coordinates and Velocity. Okay, you say? If this unit speed is faster than the target's, you will deal the speed difference multiplied the charge potency on self % more damage. Okay, so that's his damage conditional. You have to be faster and have more charge potency. Turn end. Gain charge potency on self divided by X haste next turn. Okay, so the more charge you have, the faster you are. Therefore, the faster you are, the higher you can keep your charge conditionals. Here we have his secondary passive, Open Alley. This is the charge potency passive. Gain charge potency every time this unit consumes X cumulative charge count in this encounter, which is 10. When another ally's skill hits an enemy, at attack end of the skill, consume a dimensional castaway to activate dimensional slice against the said target. Then gain quadricolor dimensions. Now, dimensional castaway is the buff that he gains, and also this is the follow-up, I believe the S1 follow-up. Yes, this is the S1 follow-up. It also has a potential reuse, and in the trailer we saw that you can get either 1 coin or 2 coin from it. And that is it from his passives. Now move down to the support passive. Let man outrun even the ray of light. Wise words, Yusang. When one ally with the fastest speed uses a skill that gains or consumes charge count, gain haste next turn. Actually, not that bad. Pretty decent, especially if you're running a charge team that perhaps inflicts some sort of relevant effect. For instance, photoelectricity. You want that character to go fast, so if they happen to go fast, you want them to stay fast. pretty situational for it is charge counts, but not the worst thing that it could be. Free haste is not that bad. Now we move on to the 2 buffs that he gets. We have Dimensional Castaway. Before getting hit, gain shield equal to the stack percent of HP. Okay, so he gives himself shield in case he gets hit. And also this is the one that is consumed to do the reuse and is consumed to do the unopposed attack. But now we have the Quadricolor Dimensions, which is in reference to Wayward Passengers for portals. Gain the following effects based on stack. Ooh, I like this because this is much like Ring Honglu and Ring Faust. Gain the following effects. Number 1. So 1, gain offense level. 2, gain defense level. 3, gain more charge count from this unit's skills. 4, this unit's skills will deal charge potency multiplied by X% damage. If this unit gains this effect past its max cap, this unit gains the surplus stack next turn. Oh, so if you gain 8 Quadricolor Dimensions, you will get 4 next turn. Essentially, you get 4 this turn and 4 next turn. Okay, so that's pretty nice. It means you can, well, considering how much you gain from the skill 1 here, the skill 3, sorry, as you can see, you gain quite a lot of the Quadricolor Dimensions. That does, in fact, make a bit of sense. So once you start snowballing with this identity, as far as I'm aware, you really do maintain that pace. You maintain the speed. Speed gives you more charge gives you more potency gives you more haste gives you more damage gives you more S3s. And you do need specifically charge count to activate the Ascendant Skill 3. And that is it for the identity. Now, the biggest discussion, which I won't be going over into in this video, but the thing is how will this hold up against W Corp Yi Sang? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, we don't know. Okay, I don't know, and I have no way of telling you how. My assumed theory is this. Dimensional Rift is a very powerful effect, so we'll have to see how much Dimensional Rift if you care about Rupture count, okay? If you care about Rupture count, Dimensional Rift is going to be the most important thing. I also noted that he does not have a bonus with his ego, which is very unfortunate. I was actually expecting there to be some sort of ego correlation, but no, maybe because his ego is already incredibly powerful. If you don't know, his ego gives you Rupture count, inflicts Rupture count per turn. But I'm not going to include the ego in this, just to give an example. If you're interested in Dimensional Shredder Yi Sang from this alone, what do I recommend? 1, charge. Okay, he is very clearly a charge identity, first and foremost. W Corp Yi Sang is a charge identity, but he uses charge kind of the same way how Codion uses charge, where he simply uses charge to gain more Rupture. This is doing more charge to do more damage. Doing more charge to do more effects. You need potency. Potency requires a lot of charge. So if you're interested in replacing W Corp Yi Sang strictly for the fact that this will be a better charge identity and have consistently more damage modifiers overall, from what I'm reading, yes. If you want strictly Rupture count and you care more about Rupture, then you're going to have to wait on the day to see how the Dimensional Rift is. You know, this will be, but it's been a while since we've had a identity that inflicts Rupture next turn. In fact, I think maybe the last time we've had that is a while. Normally we haven't even had a Clash Win Rupture in a little while. But this could be situationally useful for initiating large Rupture stacks with, again, Dimensional Rift, not including using the ego itself. Obviously, if you include the ego with this, then immediately everything becomes neutral. At the bare minimum, by the way, because the highest thing he has is Rip Space, which is 3 coin. 5 coin inflicts Dimensional Rift, which is +2. So, yes, if that is what you care about, wait and see how the Dimensional Rift is. If you care about being a charge user, I think you will find more value out of this so far in comparison to W Corp Yi Sang. But that is pretty much it. I do like the evade. It's kind of, you know, it has that quick charge gain in unfocused battles, maybe. You want to get charge as fast as possible. Or in situations maybe where you can't gain charge because the turn's going to end or whatever, you can gain charge really quickly. It doesn't punish you that much besides losing some HP, but it doesn't seem to be that bad, at least from here. And yeah, that's it. Look, I'm excited for it. I know it's very simple, and especially from this season. I will be obviously pulling on it. If you want my opinions on the day, I will be, I'll be using it. Railway 2 will also be coming out, so I will be using it with Railway 2. And that's going to be it. I will be talking about the patch notes and Kano 10 story after this video comes out on the live stream. I'll also be going over the ID again. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Hope you all enjoy. See ya.